What's up YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is Bami, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to cast your plaster art or 3D art in silicone for easy replication. This process will be especially useful for you if you're looking to sell your art and you're looking for ways to be able to easily duplicate your pieces over and over again. Before we get into the process, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button because it supports the work that I do and allows me to continue making these videos. In this video, I will be casting this small 3D clay artwork, and I will be starting off by coating it in my Krylon triple thick crystal clay glaze, which is a really high gloss and will give you a really bright glass-like coating. It's very crucial to note that silicone will cast in the finish of the material that you set it in. So for example, if you cast something with a matte finish in silicone, your silicone will have a matte finish. And if you cast something that's glossy like this, you will have a silicone that has a glossy finish. I went with the really high gloss finish so that I would have the option to be able to cast resin in the silicone mold, since casting resin in a matte silicone mold will give you a cloudy finish. I was very generous with the varnish. I applied about 3 to 4 coats, making sure that every nook and cranny of the art was completely glazed, since any part you don't cover will show up matte. Next, I'm going to cover the back of the art with some tape to prevent silicone from getting in there, since we do not need to set or cast the inner cavity of the canvas. I also wanted to highlight that this is an error on my part. It is best for you to do this process before you apply the varnish, since you ultimately want to make sure that your varnish is smudge proof and fingerprint proof, and so it's just best to do this first before applying the varnish. So make sure to learn from my mistake. Krylon also recommends that you wait 24 hours after applying the varnish before handling so that it can fully cure, so just keep that in mind. As a next step, I am building up my silicone mold housing using an adjustable mold housing kit that I got on Amazon. Honestly, I just followed the instructions that came with this adjustable mold housing kit, using double-sided tape to ensure a seal to prevent the silicone from leaking. Here I'm showing you that I also secured the art to a plastic board, and this is also really crucial because you want to make sure that your art does not move around once you start to put the silicone in. Trust me, it is a pain, so you want to ensure that your art is glued down. The art that I'm looking to set or cast is taller than my mold housing kit, and so I had to build another mold housing kit and glue them together with the help of the double-sided tape that came with the kit. I also reinforced my structure with some glue, and I wanted to mention that you do not have to use the silicone housing kit. I've seen people use cardboard, I've seen people use foam boards. You just need kind of a square surface that can hold your silicone without leaking. As the next step, I mix my 2-part silicone rubber in a large measuring cup in a 1:1 ratio as required in the instructions. I also wanted to flag that although the instructions require you to mix the ratios by weight, I mixed by volume based on the measuring cup, and I never had issues with it, so just keep that in mind. Once my silicone is thoroughly mixed, I gently pour it over my art. One thing I want to note here is you want to make sure you have at least 1 inch of space between your art and the walls of your housing kit. Otherwise, you will have weak points in your silicone, which can cause it to tear. This project required a lot of silicone from me, and I did run out of silicone at some point at the very end. And what I did was I threw in some chunks of cured silicone, which I had on hand before, which is what I'm showing you in this video, since silicone does stick very well to silicone. And so that's a quick tip for you. If you're running out of silicone and you have some chunks on hand, you can just throw it in to add to the volume of your silicone. This specific brand of silicone rubber I use has a 3 to 5 hour cure time, but in my case I find that 4 hours is usually the sweet spot. After 4 hours it's usually fully cured and I can remove and demold without any issue. Next, I just used an X-Acto knife to cut off any excess silicone at the bottom of the art to have a really clean opening. Working really gently, I was able to extract the clay art from the silicone mold without any issues or tearing. And this is the silicone mold in all of its glory. As you can see, it has a really glossy interior, which would be perfect for casting resin in it. And so if you're interested in seeing what that process looks like, or if you want to see me use the silicone molds and others that I have been working on, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as I will be sharing a lot more inspiration on this page. And just to clarify, you can cast more than resin in the silicone. You can cast cement, you can cast Jesmonite, you can cast plaster, and a whole bunch of other materials. So this is a widely applicable material. Anyway, I hope that this video was helpful and informative for you, and I will see you on my next video. Bye.